Some potential good news on a one-time $1,400 stimulus check specifically focused on Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, seniors, the elderly, and the disabled. I have all the details for you in this video and a new announcement that I also want to discuss in this video, so let's get into it right now. But if you haven't done so, or if you're new here, make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and so I can keep you updated each and every day with all of the latest information, as things are changing very, very rapidly right now as a result of all of these packages, proposals, announcements, reform, and everything else that continues coming out on a regular basis. Also, make sure to stay tuned, as my wife Corey will be back here in just a couple minutes with the new updated list of shoutouts for those names that are pulled right out of this community. And remember, that list is changing in every single video. Stay tuned for that, and let's get into this right now. Alright, so we have a lot to talk about in this video, but first off, I do want to talk about that announcement, but we may need to think a little bit outside the box in this video, simply because there's a lot going on right now, and we need to consider everything that is going on in the current landscape right now. I think all of us can agree it is very busy out there right now with so many different things going on. There's so many different things that are being discussed in Congress right now. There's a lot of packages, a lot of proposals, a lot of announcements, and there's a lot of things going on. So we need to take all of this into consideration. However, I do have an announcement that I want to go through in this video as well, but let's quickly talk about everything that's going on right now for just a minute here and preface all of this. So, I do want to quickly talk about that one announcement out of the Senior Citizens League from a couple months ago. In fact, we haven't talked about this in quite a while. So remember late last year, we had the Senior Citizens League, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with who they are, they're a big advocacy group, very powerful. They have a lot of people behind them, and they work directly with Congress, as in they reach out directly to people in Congress and doing whatever they possibly can to advocate for seniors, the elderly, people with disabilities, basically Social Security beneficiaries. They advocate for these groups in a big way. So, very powerful group. But anyway, late last year, they sent out a petition where they were gathering signatures, working on a one-time $1,400 stimulus check, specifically focused on, like I said, Social Security, SSDI, survivors, SSI beneficiaries, to help everybody out. Because here's what happened. Around the time that the Social Security Administration announced the 5.9% cost of living adjustment, all of us were looking at this thinking, okay, that's fine, that's great, but it's no way going to keep up with current inflation right now. In fact, the petition that they were gathering signatures for was actually launched about a month and a half prior to the announcement out of the Social Security Administration on the cost of living adjustment for 2022. However, that just added to the momentum once we got that announcement out of Social Security, just saying, hey, this is not going to keep up with everybody. All of these seniors, people with disabilities, people are receiving Social Security, SSDI, SSI, survivors, need a one-time $1,400 stimulus check to help cover all of the additional expenses right now that their small fixed income benefit is not keeping up with as of lately. So, this was actually a really good petition. So the Senior Citizens League gathered all of those signatures, and then in early October, they sent over a letter accompanied by the petition to almost every member of Congress. That's like over 500 people. So throughout the entire House of Representatives, the Senate, it's over 500 people. According to my research, it looks like they sent a letter out to almost every single member calling on them to support a one-time $1,400 stimulus check. Not bad, right? Very cool stuff. So then, over the course of the next couple months here, we did hear a couple updates out of the Senior Citizens League where some people there were coming out saying, hey, we got the announcement out of the cost of living adjustment from Social Security. It's not going to keep up. This is just adding more support for this one-time $1,400 stimulus check. At the same time, we, right here in this community, because as I say all the time, I am your one and only daily advocate, and I'm here for you every single day, but we were also at the same time writing out those letters and sending them over to Congress as well, asking them to do the exact same thing. Hey, let's support the idea of the Senior Citizens League. Let's jump behind this movement. Let's jump behind this bandwagon, and let's get on this thing, and let's do whatever we can to help out with some additional support for all of these people living on a small fixed income under the poverty line, which, by the way, we have to remember the vast majority of people receiving these benefits are receiving benefits under the poverty line, which, by by the way, is about $1,073 every single month. So if your benefit is under that, your benefit is by definition under the poverty line. Well, we know that that's not consistent with what many people in Congress and the administration want. They want everybody above that poverty line. At least that's what they say, right? Yeah. So anyway, we can talk about that in a separate discussion. However, I want to continue talking about this because we haven't actually talked about this one-time $1,400 stimulus check in quite a while from now, right? It's actually been, I don't know, maybe 2 months, a month and a half since the last time I talked about this. Maybe even longer than that. Probably 2 months ago was the last time we talked about this specifically. But now we have a new announcement, and this is what I want to share with you. Now again, before I get into this announcement, please take a minute. We got to think outside the box here because here's the deal. What other areas are doing, they may actually take this into consideration. So this is something we need to think about. Even though it may not pertain to us at this exact moment, we've got to think about this all wrapped up as one. One quick side note, we also do have a number of different states right now that are stepping up, offering one-time payments to their residents. In fact, the state of Ohio, a couple weeks ago, announced, what was it, a $250, I believe it was a $250 one-time payment for people when they file their tax returns. We just got that announcement out of the governor of the state of California, announcing that there's likely going to be another stimulus check in the state of California this year. We just had an announcement out of the governor of Minnesota, again, a $125 up to a $350 one-time payment for those individuals in that state, again, after they file their tax returns. We also had that meeting with the president and mayors. What was that, yesterday? He had that meeting out yesterday across many mayors across the entire country, asking them to step up and do more with the money that was distributed to all of these states, cities, localities, counties, all across the entire country, as that $350 billion from the government was sent out as a result of the American Rescue Plan, otherwise known as the $1.9 trillion stimulus package that was passed in March of 2021. So a lot of money flowing out, changing hands. So we need to take all of this into consideration. We see that some states are stepping up helping the residents. We also recognize it's a election year, right? It's an election year, whereas the midterm elections are coming up here in a few months, and some areas may want to, do what they can to get their citizens to remember who they are in a couple months from now when they go and do some voting, right? So again, just being real, we got to know all this stuff. We got to read between the lines with everything going on out there. So with all of this being said, and again, we can't forget about the whole, COVID situation. We can never forget about that one. That's another situation right now where we're seeing so many business closures, cancellations, people calling in. Like I said in my video yesterday, 8.8 million people in 2 weeks alone called in to work and couldn't report. That's a huge number. Unbelievable. Almost 9 million people, like I talked about yesterday. All right. So what is this announcement? And again, stick with me on this. We've got to read between the lines sometimes. We've got to think outside the box. Here's what happened. Yesterday, we got an announcement out of the NDP. Wait, what's the NDP? Yeah, I had to look it up too, because when I saw the abbreviation, I thought, wait, what is that? What does that even stand for? It stands for New Democratic Party. So yesterday, the NDP, New Democratic Party, in Canada, reached out and called on their government to send out a one-time stimulus check to their seniors, the elderly, people with disability, and their Social Security equivalent beneficiaries to help them out during this time. This is actually pretty big because here's the thing. Prior to this coming out, when was the last time we saw any other location, city, state, county, country, anything like this, reaching out to specifically focus a payment going out to seniors, the elderly, people with disability, Social Security equivalents? When was the last time we saw that? Let's just say pretty much never. We almost never see this coming out. So that's why I said we've got to think outside the box here for a minute, because as we see these announcements coming out in other countries, Canada is a huge country, right? Let's be real. So the NDP, the New Democratic Party in Canada, was calling on their government to do the exact same thing that the Senior Citizens League was calling on here for all of the Social Security, SSDI, SSI beneficiaries in this country as well. Send out a one-time stimulus check to their residents who are low income, living on a fixed income, because let's be real, we all face it right now. We all understand the situation that's going on right now. the fixed income are really taking the brunt of everything going on right now. That is the fact of the matter. It's not me. I mean, we've seen this come across in so many different reports right now, right? These are not necessarily my words, but rather it's coming across from all of these different reports, everything that we're seeing going on out there right now. We're seeing this across so many different sectors right now where people, reports, CEOs, experts, I mean, literally everybody is recognizing that all of this that's coming down right now, the inflation, all of these massive price increases, everything that we're seeing coming out right now is all coming back and it's landing on the shoulders of who? Yes, the lower middle class, the low income, and the fixed income. They're the ones who are feeling the biggest impact from all of this going on right now. The upper middle class, the high income, the rich, the wealthy, whatever, it doesn't even faze them. They don't care. It does not matter to them one bit at all. They couldn't care less if they have to pay an extra 50 cents or an extra $1 for a loaf of bread or an extra $1.50 for a gallon of gas. It does not matter to them one bit. They couldn't care less. It's not going to faze them. However, for the people living on a small fixed income, every dollar counts. Let's be real, every penny counts. It all matters because if you're getting an $842 Social Security benefit, every dollar of that is going to count, right? A certain amount goes to your rent. A certain amount goes to your utilities. A certain amount is allocated for food and gas in your car and clothes on your back. You know, all of these other necessities that we all need right now. Well, if everything goes up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25%, something's got to get cut, right? It's not like you can go out and raise your benefit. This just doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. So we all recognize that it's all coming back to these individuals who have a fixed income. The income is fixed. You can't really do much about it, right? At least not right now anyway, but lawmakers are working on that and hopefully we can get a long-term solution sometime soon. So, again, when I saw this announcement, I saw it and I thought, this is actually pretty interesting. I started reading into it a little bit more and I thought this is actually really encouraging because maybe, just maybe, and again, we've got to remember as well, Canada and the United States, these two governments, even though they don't work one-on-one with each other, they are highly correlated. They do kind of go back and forth a little bit, right? Again, they don't impact each other, but at the same time, some of the policies and some of the ideas, the ideologies, the things that they implement between these two governments do coincide with each other sometimes, right? So something we've got to watch very closely as well, because if their government is all of a sudden going to send out a one-time payment to these fixed income, low income, seniors, people with disabilities, elderly, and the Social Security equivalents, that's going to be a big deal, like a big, big deal. If they do it and then this country sits on our hands and we do absolutely nothing, I mean, seriously, I guess that could be an option. It's been an option before, so I guess I wouldn't doubt that it could be an option once again. But again, it's kind of encouraging if you get what I'm saying. So that's why I said we've got to think outside the box here. We need to look at the full situation, the full effect of everything going on right now, and we need to take all of it into consideration. So I hope this helps you, but like I said in all my videos, I want to share with you anything that I'm finding. This is what I'm finding, as well as all of these other states that are talking about sending out these other payments going out to their people. When was the last time we heard any states coming out offering additional money above and beyond what could be coming as a result of a tax refund? Pretty much never, almost never this comes out. So the simple fact that we're having a few states step up right now and announce these payments that are going out to these people, again, just a good sign that states have a lot of money right now. There's a lot of money out there available, and they're recognizing that, hey, maybe people need some extra money, or maybe they're just looking at it saying, well, it's actually an election year. Why not give the people a little bit of cash right now? Again, just saying, it happens all the time. So, again, let's leave it there for right now. I'll come back later with another update and let you know what's going on. But I wanted to share this with you. It's actually somewhat encouraging, even though we might think, oh, it's a different country. It doesn't matter. It doesn't pertain to us. Again, it all pertains to us in some way. We got to watch it. Anyway, with that being said, let's bring Corey in right now. She can bring in that new updated list of shout-outs for those names that are pulled right out of the fan club. Remember, if you're interested in checking that out, there's a link down below in the description. Otherwise, at the top of the comments section, there is a link there as well you can check out. Just for those people who maybe want a little bit more, not required by any means, but if you're interested, feel free to check it out. Otherwise, all the videos here on the channel are 100% free, always have been, always will be, so feel free to go back and check out any of the other 2,000 plus videos right here on the channel. And again, share them with your friends, family, and social media so everybody can stay updated with everything going on right now, as it's a very confusing time. It's tough out there, but I'm doing all the research on your behalf every day. I lay it all out in these short videos so that you can get all of the latest updates. updates. So with that being said, Corey, take it away with the latest updates or the latest shout-outs in this video for those names right out of the fan club. Congratulations in advance. And Corey, it's all you. I'll catch you again later in the next video. All right, Corey, take it away.
Today we are shouting out Jennifer Blackwell, Cheryl Summers, Charles Hare, Walter Goodman, Michelle Dupree, Jimmy Himes, and Ann Govin. Thank you for being members of the fan club.